Okay, so it says monetize your magazine. Now, it does not mean you have to do this, but I'm sure we all are into making money with Builderall. And if you can do it with your magazine app, I would say, why not? All right, so let me get to the first slide. And I'm going to talk about lead generation machine. As you can see, I'm in the cake industry. And I'm just going to give you my background so that you can understand a little bit. I've been a cake decorator for about 15 years, creating cakes, wedding cakes, party cakes, all that kind of stuff. And during that time, I've collected a lot of information. I know how this industry operates. I know how those people think. So I know my audience very, very well. And that is why I've chosen this industry to really explore the options of making an income through this. So I think it's very important when you start off online that you choose a specific niche that you are passionate about and that you know. It does not mean that if you don't have a specific niche, you shouldn't go that way. You might have an interest in something specific and then follow that. So let's say you are a runner, you're a person that loves to run marathons. It does not mean that you cannot build a business around that, because there's still a lot that you can do. It is just that you need to choose something that you are not going to get bored with, because that is the problem. Most of the time people jump in online and they just grab the first best thing that comes along, and a few months later they burn out because they are tired of doing that specific niche market. You need to be passionate. You need to be waking up in the morning and can't wait to start doing whatever is in that specific niche. And that is very important. I always say that because I know what it is to create a magazine. It is not that easy just to throw a magazine together and there you go. My magazines are all about between 60 and 80 pages. And the reason for that is because of the amount of monetization that happens inside of the magazine. And I will show you guys a little bit about that just now. So the first topic, it says lead generation machine. Like I said before, I believe that magazines are a natural lead generator. If somebody offers you a free magazine, just the word magazine gives it a little bit more value than the word a cheat sheet or an ebook. I think the internet at this moment, and please don't crucify me what I'm saying right now, but the internet is flooded with ebooks. It's flooded with cheat sheets. It's flooded with case studies, all those different kinds of things. The market needs something fresh, something where you can have engagement happening. And that is what's happening with a digital magazine. It creates engagement because you can do so much on the inside. Besides the monetization, you can bring your videos to life. You can add iframes. You can add checkout buttons. There's so much to it, which you cannot do in an ebook. When a person downloads an ebook, that is it. That is the end. There's no more monetization happening for you, where a magazine is completely different story. So a lot of people would rather opt in to get a magazine than opt in and getting just an ebook and it's over and done with. So that is number one. The next one, instant authority creator. Now, why I'm saying that is because if you're in a specific niche, like I'm doing right here, and you get this magazine for the first time, you don't even need to know me. You're going to think I know what I'm talking about because of the amount of information that you're getting in one place and the type of content that is inside of that magazine. That is why it's called a magazine. If you go buy a magazine off the shelf in a retail store, you're not going to get a magazine that has got all different kinds of things in it. It's going to be very, very specific for a specific audience. And that magazine that you buy, you're obviously going to know that they're the authority in that area. You can think about the car magazine. If you look at the car magazine, you're going to know those people know what they talk about, because the magazine is jam-packed full of very valuable information. Then all-in-one catalog. And that one I love because you can sell not just your own products, you can sell other people's products, you can sell your product, you can sell e-courses, you can sell affiliate links, you can have tutorials in it. It's really a catalog page. You can even offer this as a catalog for furniture industries that are selling offline business, for an example, especially in the times that we are right now. If you think about it, a lot of places are closing down because of COVID. And how do those people get their products to the market? So if you can go and get a furniture store, for an example, and get their products inside of a magazine and create a cover such as this, people are definitely going to go through that magazine. Then it's easy to distribute, and it's very, very easy to become viral. And if I'm talking about viral, it's because, let's imagine now you take your magazines that you create and you start adding it to social media such as Pinterest and Instagram. It is very visual. We all know that Pinterest and Instagram is extremely visual platform. And when you start posting the cover pages of your magazine, people are bound to click on your bio and to go and download those magazines. That is a definite happening that's going to happen. Then obviously I just said it's an awesome social media graphic as well. So let me go to the next page. Now let's look at some ideas. The first one is paid subscriber. So I'm going to tell you now, how do I make money with my magazines? The first one is paid subscription. There is some of the magazines that is paid. Not all of my magazines is free. The ones that is paid is a magazine that is about business, how to start a cake decorating business, what are the legalities of it, all that kind of stuff. But I only present my subscribers that are loyal to me with the option of purchasing a paid magazine subscription after a few email sequences. The next one is paid advertising. Now, paid advertising is two ways. It could be private and companies. So in my example, for an example, is I've got cake decorators that would like to advertise their products that they create, such as their cakes or wedding cakes or whatever. And then I also got suppliers that are supplying the cake industry. It could be cake flour, the sugar, the tools that's been used in the cake industry. So I also got that companies. And that is why I am giving away my magazine for free and why I want masses of subscribers. And the reason for that is because, let's say I'm going to go to a company that are selling cake flour. If I can go to them and say, I've got 10,000 people on my list, 10,000 dedicated subscribers on my list that are looking for your type of products, that company is definitely going to advertise in my magazine. First, because the magazine is specific to a specific audience. It's not just a Facebook ad where they need to post and they need to try and reach the masses, or a Google ad or any of those. I still call Google ads and Facebook ads and all those paid advertising, I still call them lukewarm clients because they're not really a client yet. And we are trying to play a guessing game by throwing the products in front of them, but you never know if they're going to click on it. Whereby this is a dedicated client inside of the magazine. The company can know that these people inside that are subscribed are people that actually bake and they would be interested in their products. So that is the main part, and that's where the mass income is coming from, is from very large companies that wants to put their products into the magazine. Then affiliate marketing. I've got people that, I'm affiliate for many online platforms that are doing cake decorating, and I will show you guys just now as well. And they pay me a fee, obviously, when somebody signs up for either their courses or for their products. And then I've got here cross monetization with YouTube, which means is I would either find an influencer in this industry that are on YouTube, and they will talk about the magazine and that kind of stuff in the YouTube videos, and that will in turn send traffic to my magazine as well. The same applies to podcasts. You can have influencers talking about your podcasts. I'm sorry for my dogs barking in the back, if you guys are hearing that. And then App Store and Google Store ads. Now, that is a good one. If you can take your magazine and take it to an app, it's going to be complicated in the beginning to get everything up and running. But remember, if you download a free app from iOS Store or Google Store or whatever, there's normally ads attached to it at the bottom of it because it's a free thing and it's a free subscription. So that is a very good idea to monetize it as well. I have not yet done that. I did put it down on my list here because it's the next thing I am going to tackle. And then Google AdSense is a biggie for me. It's really a biggie for me. I've got Google AdSense in some of my magazines, and people naturally click on it. And it is really, really free, absolutely free income. It might be, it sounds terrible if I'm saying to you, it's cents that you're getting for clicks, but imagine hundreds and thousands of people clicking, and they keep clicking, and your magazine is not going away. It becomes, like I say, kind of viral. I don't think it's the right word, but it gets transferred from one person to another person, and they click in their magazine. So I'm not really bothered if somebody shares my magazine, because I know my links is in that magazine, and I'm still going to generate the income from it. And then obviously going to print, I don't like that idea because it misses the whole idea of being digital. But I have had companies contacting me asking if they can take my magazine to print, which is probably awesome. But you know, it's a nice idea just to think, oh, somebody's going to take my magazine and they want to put it into print, but it's missing the point. So I have declined that multiple times. But if you are a person that would like to do that kind of thing, that is also another way. And then the next one, I just want to see what I've got here, because this silly thing is in front of it. Let me just move this thing. The next one is own products. Let me just move that thing. The next one is your own products. And that is an awesome one, because in my magazines, I sell websites, and that's where my web agency is coming from. Most of the time in my web agency, I only build for cake decorators. I don't really build for other industries, because this is the industry that I'm specializing in. And that is how I'm building my downline as well inside of Builderall. If the person would like to rather have access to their own account, then I would sell to them a Builderall account, and I would still create the website for them and later transfer it to them. So that is the one way of doing it. I also have an app that I created myself, a software that I created for the cake industry on how to do costing. So I also sell that inside of my magazine. So as you guys can see, it is truly a little ecosystem, if I can put it this way. It's a little ecosystem happening, everything in one place, and the one is helping the other one. So I'm going to look at examples just now, but I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I want you guys to tell me any questions that you might have. Now is the time to throw them at me.
Jackie, hey, this is Stacy. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. So I love how you told us to jot down questions. So as the questions came, I was in my car, so I couldn't write them down, but that's why I jumped in real quick so I don't forget. So the first thing is you were talking about, and it's a great job, by the way. Awesome, awesome information. You were talking about the uh, things that you sell, like people who advertise who sell cake products. And I'm wondering, is that, or cake decorating, is that mostly local?
No, it's international. My magazine in the beginning was kind of local, but it exploded internationally now. So it's not just in my country alone. To be quite honest, it's actually going more US at the moment than in my own country, but it is global. It is absolutely global. So there's different kinds of products in my magazine. It's not just specific to my local area at all. That's why I don't really advertise local businesses as much in my magazine, because that is not really the way to go for my magazine. It's more about getting products, selling products to people, and to give people exposure in the market. I have had some 2 or 3 cake decorators that wanted to be in the magazine to try and promote their businesses, and they have had success, not major success, but they have had success of people that did pick up the magazine and order from them. Because remember, this is a cake decorating magazine. It is not really for people that wants to purchase a cake. It is more for a cake decorator or to learn cake decorating. So that is the main purpose of the magazine.
That makes sense. And I had another question that I don't think I remember exactly what the question was, but I did just want to comment on something that you just said that just makes so much sense. And I want to emphasize it for everybody. You know, sometimes when we're trying to do a business in general, as well as in Builderall, there's so much that can be done that it gets overwhelming trying to market all the different things or even trying to do the different things. But I want to tell you, you just said something that just made so much sense in terms of you keeping it within an ecosystem around the thing that you know the most about, the thing that you like to do. So the fact that you said you do web design in your agency for people who are already in the industry that you're already in. It just makes so much sense. And it's like you said, it's a, you know, one begets the other. Through, you can advertise Builderall as a development, or advertise the sales themselves for these to create websites in the magazine itself. And then they're interested in the magazine too. So it really is a lovely, lovely ecosystem that you have developed. And I just want to commend you on that. It's a great idea. And I think we all need to think more like that, just so that we can get things done and be effective and be successful. So thank you.
No, thank you, Stacey, for that. No, absolutely. I can tell you it didn't happen overnight. It was quite a lengthy exercise to get it to the point that it's now, and it is still growing. And I still believe there is still a lot of growth for this specific thing that's stuck up in my mind. But I think it's one, you have to take one step at a time. And I mean, the next thing is to create e-learning courses for people in the cake decorating industry. That is my own. At the moment, I'm a bit too lazy to go and stand in front of an oven and bake the freaking cake all over again. That's why I got out of that situation and trying to rather go digital and online kind of thing. I was tired of doing that. But the money, you make more money if you sell your own products than selling somebody else's products. That's just a fact. It's more money in your pocket. It's harder work, I agree. But once you've done it, remember, you only have to create that course once, and then you can keep selling it. It's not like somebody selling somebody else's course, and then 2 months down the line, they decided they're not going to do it anymore, and they remove the course, and you sit with a problem. But I don't say we shouldn't do that. I still have affiliates in my magazines as well, but definitely. I've got a question here from where's the one I just saw? Cashflow Tom. Do I distribute magazine? Do I have it in multiple languages because it's global? I wish I could. I probably can, because I've recently purchased a program that does translations, but I haven't done that, and I've chose to go with just English because I understand that English is globally the language. I mean, I'm not even English speaking, to be quite honest. So you can hear my tenses. Sometimes it's a mess, but no, I've chose to do English at this stage. I think it would be difficult to translate it, seeing the amount of contents that I have in my magazines, to another language. That would be very difficult. Let me see. What do I charge for mag subscription? Chip. That is, you know what, that is a very difficult question. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's for how to start a cake decorating business. That is the magazine that I'm charging for. And obviously, the exchange rate in the US, according to South Africa, is quite a big difference. So my specific one is really like in $27 at this stage. But then it's about 72 pages odd. I don't give it out monthly at all. I don't. I did in the beginning, but I can't keep up. I've got too many things that I'm doing at the moment. But I think it depends on your market and what they can afford. You sometimes just have to look at that as well. I mean, if you are doing a car kind of thing, and you've got Porsches and Lamborghinis and that kind of thing in your view, people that's going to buy those magazines have money. So you're probably going to charge them a bit more. So I would think there is not a right and a wrong answer for that. But yeah, it depends. What I have done is I would go and take the average of all the magazines that I can find online. There is actually a site called Magazine App, I think. I'm going to check now. I'll show you just now on my screen, where you can see the magazines. Let me just see if I could find it here quickly. I think I do have it here, magazines. Okay, I'm going to open it. I will show you guys just now before I go on. It's a site where you can find all the magazines you can think of online, and most of them are paid subscriptions, and you would be able to get an idea of what your specific magazine is selling for online, and that would give you an idea. Derek, hoping BA will come up with a language translation widget. Yes, that would be awesome. I agree. With the value delivered with so many pages, it could logically be a quarterly product and still hold the price or even increase. That's true. Yes, no, it's right. Cashflow, Tom, I agree with you. I have to say, not all my magazines are 72 pages, but it's never less than 50 pages, to put it that way. And I did give it out quarterly, but I have gone a little bit behind because I've been so busy with Builderall at the moment that my own business is kind of riding on the back at the moment. But I finally found somebody that's going to create my magazines for me, a virtual assistant that would be able to keep up with the magazine. Otherwise, I might lose all the income that I'm generating from it at the moment. So it's not a good idea. If you start it, make sure that you continue. It used to be monthly, and then I made it quarterly, and I'm so behind at the moment. So I'm just giving COVID the reason for it at this moment. All right. Is there any questions? None. You guys are awfully quiet. Cash flow Tom says, did you give me another message here? Consider making it semi-annual for a few more pages. Yes, I have thought about that as well. But I like that. I like the every 3 months income. You know, I would like to have a monthly income. That's even better. But the amount of content that needs to go into these magazines is huge. And I'm going to show you just now. Let me first show you the magazines. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I think it's that screen. All right, so I think you guys can see this. It says magazines.com. And here you can get an idea of what magazines sell for. So in this specific industry, Sports Illustrated, $21 to $26, $23 to $28, $29 to $34. So you can see there's quite, the range that I'm in is basically the same kind of thing, but there are cheaper ones. There's a $10 one, $27. And that's, like I said, it's very difficult to determine the exact price. It's going to have to depend on your subscribers or the people that you're in. And according to that, so you can go and click on search, and you would be able to, you can see I've done cake decorating before. It's remembering me, yeah. And I've done martial arts. I can't do martial arts, guys. I put martial arts because I've got an interest in it. And, but I can't do that. I will probably create a magazine about martial arts, but I will get other people that are martial arts experts to add their content. But this is a good place to go if you would like to get an idea of what the subscriptions go for. And if I could give you advice, do not start charging for your magazines until you have a subscriber base. You need to give them a taste of what your magazines look like before you start selling them a true magazine. All right, so I'm going to go to the next page. This is my website, and I'm showing you this just to give you an idea. It's very plain and simple. I used to have a blog connected to the site, and a blog is a good idea, especially if you want to attract organic traffic. Now, SEO is definitely not dead, guys. I believe that too. I love to blog, but the problem that I have is time. So when you start generating an income through your magazines, you eventually start becoming like myself and says, you know what, I will pay for my advertising. I don't have the time to blog. So I removed my blog from my website, which was probably a bad idea, but I did. So you can see I said, just give me my free magazine right here at the top. I've got free magazine there. I've got a page for advertisers, a page for contributors. Then I've got courses page, which says buttercream flowers, which is, I have co-op. I don't know if co-op is the word, but I have an agreement with this person. She makes buttercream flowers to sell her course, and I give her basically commission. She's not giving me commission. So I've got the rights to her course that I'm selling. And then a cake decorating course as well there. And then I've got tutorials, and this is who I'm an affiliate for, is how to cake that. So if I scroll down, this is AdSense happening right here. I don't know if it is a legal way of doing it, and I should remove this line now that I'm seeing it. It's good that I'm looking at my own website right now, because this line should be removed. When people search the internet for anything related to cake decorating, I will get paid for that click. All of these are also Google AdSense, and I've manipulated it somehow. I wouldn't say it's bad doing it this way, but it is prompting people to click on these links if you are interested in cake decorating supplies or online, order a cake online, because it's basically the same function as that one here at the top. The only difference is that I've done the search for you. So if they click there, it's going to take them to that search. And then obviously a little bit of a bio of what my website is about. And the only reason I've done this is because for search engine optimization. So if I go Google now and I type in my keywords, which is a free cake decorating magazine, I'm going to be way at the top. So I'm #1 on Google at the moment for free cake decorating magazines. And that is why it's important to make sure, I mean, this training is not about my website, but it is important to know how to drive the traffic to your pages so that people can opt in. All right, so I'm not going to go further here. I'm going to jump now to an example of, oh, I just gone away from my site, sorry. I'm just going to go to the magazines itself so that you can get an idea of what you can do. So these are my magazines that I've got so far here. And I'm just going to go, this one takes the longest to load. This was my first magazine and it was huge. I did not optimize my images at all, and that's why it takes so long to download, but it was not optimized. So I'm just going to try and go through it and just give you an idea. Here it says at the bottom, it's free subscription. And I can see it takes a little bit of time to download. And editor's note and a contact me link if somebody wants to contact me directly. And then I've got advertise with us, and that is where people will click and they will get my pricing to be able to get into the magazine. Here I've got a little video that's playing. Now, when I created this magazine, we did not have the option in the magazine app to add video. Now we do. So that's why I said there, click on the video to watch, and I had to create a little image because at the time we didn't have that. Now, this specific person right here, they is paid. That's paid at paid people that paid for an article to be in the magazine. The same with this article. And then we've got the people that are advertising in the magazine. If they are contributors and they did not pay for their article and they gave it to me, then I give them the option to be in the magazine for free, and they will get their social media accounts connected to it so that I can send traffic to their specific sites. So I'm just going to go further down and give you another idea. This is the course that I have the rights to. So if I sell this course in any of her social media, I'm the one that's going to get the benefit from that. Again, these are articles that people are getting for free. Then this person in this magazine, this is a series of training, and I would get commission if the person had purchased the products. So I'm just going to go through, not all my magazines are the same. Just want to see if I can show you another place where monetization happens. Here is monetization of a shop selling cake decorating tools. And that is what I'm saying to you guys earlier when you asked about being international. So anybody can buy a product, and it doesn't matter where in the world you are, it can be shipped. And then there is some tutorials and now some articles happening around. And this is my business pages when I'm saying I am selling websites. So you can see here is my ebook, Your Baking Business at Home, and what they can get from it. Now this link is outdated. I actually need to go and change it. And that is something that you have to remember, is when you have these magazines, remember that don't go change your links left, right, and center, because sometimes people will go back to those magazines and that link will be dead. In this case, this link is dead. I know that for a fact because I changed that. And then do not have a website. And then obviously they would be able to find out more and come back to me. And again, I think that link is not great, but I'll have to check. And then my online cake pricing software, and then how it works. And then all these other things. This magazine is actually so outdated now that I'm looking at it. I really need to come back to this one. So you guys can see what this is all about. And then at the back, did you subscribe? Because sometimes people will will pass the magazine onto somebody else. And you need to have the option for that person to subscribe, especially if they liked your magazine. They not necessarily get it from the person that sent it to them previously. So they could give them the option to subscribe again. And then if they want to contribute, make sure that the people understand that you do not accept any plagiarism, and that that it needs to be high quality. So they need to understand what the magazine is about. So that is that one. I'm just going to jump to one. I'm just going to see where's another one. That was Black Friday. This one has got a competition in it. Sometimes suppliers will give you the option to, will give you the tools and says they want to run a competition if they can do it inside of your magazine. And that is why I've got this little logo there. They had to find the bee inside of the magazine. So let me go show you what the whole idea was behind this. is to create social engagement on on Facebook. So it says competition, and then if you go look for, let's just find it quickly. It says competition time, find Mrs. B, that cartoon image in the issue, and stand a chance to win online cake pricing software for a whole year. Only one step to enter. Take a screenshot of the page you found of her and post it to the Cake Mag Facebook group. Winners will be announced in the Facebook Live. So this is basically, and what people did is they went through the magazine, and there's a little B, and it's been put on this page for a purpose, because this was for cancer, cupcakes for kids with cancer. And we put a little B there so that the people can post this to Facebook, and they will be aware of Cupcakes for Cancer as well. So give them awareness. So as you guys can see, the magazine is really a lot of information that can be added to it, and monetization that can happen. So you can see that I've got cake pricing software again. And then there is suppliers. Here it says click me. That is for special that was running on that specific day. And like I said, you know, guys, it's very important to actually go back and make sure that your links, maybe every now and then, go back and make sure that your links are working, because links such as these are all affiliate links. I don't know what these companies are doing. I don't know whether they are changing the links or not. So it is important to not neglect it like I have now. But this is what it is like, just to give you an example. And I'm going to close that. And I'm going to go back, and I'm going to ask if you guys have got any questions. Let's look at them quickly. Let's see what's here.
Well, I don't have any questions, Jackie, but I've been writing furiously with the ideas that you've been giving us. Fantastic. I've got lots of ideas. And it's true what you say. It's not something that you can start and finish in a weekend. It's a little project that goes on and on. So it could go on for a few months like mine is. But this is fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, let me see what I see here. Can you do? You can do martial arts if you want. Yes, Jason. Definitely. I love to do martial arts. You know what? I've got a big interest in it. But I think you know what? I just look at those people and I will get hurt. But I think it's amazing. I love watching those people. Cindy.
Yeah, when you are looking at your magazine, I noticed that it's like almost 2 years old, and you're concerned about going back and updating it. How far back would you go with that, and how concerned are you because the advertisers paid you? I mean, for that magazine edition, not for the life of your.
Yes, I agree. Yes, they do pay for the edition, and I do tell them that. They are aware of it, but I still believe you need to update it. And let me tell you why. Because my Facebook group get continuously is really, I don't even advertise my Facebook group. It just gone viral because I keep on posting in it. So a lot of people are joining the group, and then they go to the membership page and they see those magazines and they go click on it. So those links are supposed to be, I have neglected it badly. I have to admit it, I've neglected it badly. I shouldn't have. Maybe sometimes when things are going too well, you tend to do that. So I am very, very naughty when it comes to that. But it should be updated regularly. At least go back every second month just to make sure that those things are still live. Because I know for a fact that some of my links is broken. I know that. And luckily, none of my subscribers has come back. All that I'm getting at the moment is subscribers begging for the next edition. And that's a good thing, because they probably have gone and through the other magazines already. They want to see the new stuff. So yeah, at this stage, luckily, I haven't had anybody or a supplier or anybody saying, oh, well, you know what, we paid for it. It's over and done. It's a long time ago. They can't expect it. But I still update it. Let's see. Do you use any Amazon affiliate links? You can, Jason. I just don't have an Amazon account. Believe it or not, but you can. That is for affiliate marketing anyways. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, Shelley, I was just, first of all, it's amazing work you've done. Have you got any of the video or any of the magazines that maybe we can use as samples? Some that maybe, you know, older editions or whatever, or even some of the newer ones that's not a paid subscription?
No, sure. I can go. Let me just update one of them with the links, because obviously I don't want to give you samples if it's not, if there's no links to it. But the Builderall magazine that I've done as well is also a good example. I've done one before, and I am currently busy with the magazine for Builderall that's due 1 April. So there's a new version of that magazine coming out as well that you can use. So you can have the cake decorating magazine as an example, and that one. I just need to go and update one of those magazines, and I will give it to you guys as a sample if you like, if that is something that you want.
I may have missed the Builderall one, so maybe that's the one I need to be looking for.
I think that is the one, because the cake decorating one is not going to help you really, especially if you want to build your downline.
Well, since I am in the crafting industry, the cake decorating one would be a good example for some of the people that I'm working with, because I work with a lot of different crafters.
Okay, but if you want the Builderall magazine, there's a previous version. You can just send me a private message with your Builderall account email that you've got, and I'll transfer a copy to you. The new one that's coming out, I believe, will be put into your dashboards. So I don't need to transfer it. It will automatically be coming up in the dashboard as far as I understand. So yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. I agree.
Thank you.
Let me see, Derek. We have main search bar element, report, yes, okay. What is a typical cost for a paid ad? Again, it depends on which company and which country is doing the advertising. I mean, I cannot charge for a company in South Africa to pay the same as a company in the US. It's just not going to make sense. Have you analyzed the potential of normal cycle for articles so you can reuse the same one? No cash flow, Tom. I've never done that. I will never use the same article twice inside of the magazines, because my audience is quite educated, if I want to put it that way. Once you learn how to do something, or you learn something in this industry, you tend to remember it. So I cannot repurpose the same article, even if I have to rewrite it. That makes it a little bit difficult to do. And remember, most of my articles is not coming from me, it's coming from contributors, and it is their intellectual capital. I can't really make use of their tutorials, for an example, because that is their handiwork. It's their work. And then Cindy says there's a lot of examples in BA2. Yes, and we're going to look at that right now. If you guys don't have any other questions, we will go to the app right now. None?
Stacy has her hand up.
All right, Stacy?
Yeah, so there's two things that came to mind. One was that, you know how you were talking about how people continually go back to your magazine and they click on it, even from within your group, etc. I just wanted to say that actually that gives more value to what you create for your advertisers, and that is something else that you can add in terms of the value and the incentive to advertising in your magazine, that people are using it for, you know, a long period of time. They still come to it, and that it's not just a monthly magazine, that it gets circulated. So I wanted to add that. And then the other thing that came to mind when you were talking about the blog, you know, everyone feels like they have to have current content on their blog. But I think one of the best things you can do is create evergreen content, stuff that's really basic in terms of what's important for your industry, for people who follow you to know. And, you know, just like basic, you could have 10 articles that are just the main things that new people who want to decorate or try a certain technique can find. And then, by the way, you could, just to make it easy for you, Jackie, you can get the articles from the magazines and put one or two just on your blog to keep it fresh, and even circulate some of those articles, your content as well as content of the other people who are allowing you to use it, because it's giving them more visibility. So I just want to throw that out there. You know me, I'm an idea person, so the ideas are coming.
Exactly. That was my whole purpose. I did do that. And but I am running 2 other blogs as well at the moment. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I said to Frankie earlier before we started. You have to pinpoint one specific thing that you do and do it very well, because things tend to fall off the edges, like what is happening to me at the moment. To be quite honest, I'm very honest with it, because I'm doing so many different kinds of things at the moment. It's falling apart at the seams, and it should not be like that. You should be focused. I cannot have my bread buttered on both sides, and that is what's happening. In the past, the magazines were running beautifully because it had my dedicated attention, and only recently I've got a virtual assistant that's going to take over that function now from me. But I've removed the block for that reason at this stage.
No, that's smart. I just had the very same conversation with my daughter tonight. They're really trying to get her to visualize when you are juggling too many balls, you do drop some, and then you end up maybe with none because you're trying to juggle too many. So you're absolutely right. Totally agree with you.
Absolutely. And the thing is, it's very dear to my heart. I have even thought about it in the past. Let me just sell Cake Raw Studio. Let me sell the whole thing so that I can concentrate on my e-commerce at the moment. And I realized, but e-commerce is also part of the magazine. I mean, I've got this one product store that I'm currently creating inside of my group, and I'm selling flavors. And the magazine is the perfect place for my catalog to go to so that I can send people to my flavor website that I've just created. I cannot get rid of a business that is at this stage so far progressed. It's really, it would be very silly to do that, to be quite honest. And that's why I need to take a step back, look at the picture and says, okay, where did I drop the ball, and start fixing it. And that is what I'm currently trying to do. All right, let me see if there's anything else been saying here. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the app. I don't know, have you guys been in the app so far? Have you guys been there or not yet? Okay. All right, so for you that did not spend time there yet, I'm going to jump right there and share my screen again. And I'm just going to go through the dashboard and give you some ideas. All right, so I'm just going to rush through it quickly because I've actually made training video on this that's going to be on knowledge base. I don't know if it's yet. So let me just do that. Somebody is not muted. You guys must just check. All right, so let me go first by talking about the templates. You guys can see there's quite a lot of templates that Builderall is giving us right here. And most of them you would be able to edit inside of the magazine. Others are images. Somebody's mic is, let me just check whose mic is on or off.
Oh, it was Michelle, but she's muted.
Okay.
I took care of it real quick.
Okay. All right, let me go back. All right, so there's quite a lot of designs, and I think Builderall is going to keep adding and keep adding. And I believe, as far as I understand, this is where you will find the Builderall magazine the end of the month as well. So you can see there's quite a lot that you can choose. Let me just scroll up again. And then you've got, if your own magazines is here, you can have all templates. I don't know, we don't have templates here yet. I suppose there's going to be some premium coming. But these are the ones that we've got. And then you can search. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add one of them. Let me just add, let me see which one I want to add, because there's actually 2 or 3, because I want to use it as an example as well. All right, so there's that one. And then let's go back to the templates again. And I wonder which one it was the last time when I played around with it. Just want to see if I could see. It's probably one of the ones here at the top. So let me just.
What about the Instagram one, Jackie?
Okay, let me check the Instagram. Let's select that one. Confirm. All right, so what I like about this is that we've got a search function here at the top. So you would be able to say, if you wanted to search for hair, it will jump to the magazine that you're looking for, especially if you've got a lot of magazines. And then you can use filter alphabetical or by the date that you've created it. So this is a cool function as well. I'm just going to say got it. And then let's just look at the 3 dots here. If you click on the dots, one, you're going to have open an editor. So when we click on open an editor, it's going to give you the option to work with a magazine. I'm just going to go back to the dashboard again. Then we've got edit information, which is basically the information right here. So if I click on edit, you can change the details right there. Then we've got open in browser, and that is to see what the magazine looks like when it's live. All right. And then I'm just going to go back. And then the 3 dots again for duplicate, if you want to duplicate the same type of magazine. All right. Transfer only happens, guys, if you want to transfer a magazine that you've created, you can only transfer it to a Builderall user. You won't be able to transfer it to somebody outside of Builderall. So you need to remember that. And then you can embed the magazine inside of your website. Now, this is something that we can have a great discussion about, because you can embed it in a website or you can send them a direct link. My magazines all have a direct link because I just thought myself, I'm not going to create a page for each and every single magazine. If you have one magazine, it's a different story. But for me, I send a direct link. I basically do not use the embed code. I would publish the website and grab the URL and attach that to the button. So that is what I would do. And then we've got obviously the delete button, which will remove the magazine. So that is the basics about the magazine sitting right there. All right. So let's just go into this magazine for an example. And I'm going to show you the most important points. Let's just run through this part here. We've got add text. If you click on add text, it's going to bring you up this box. Now, what I do is when I design, I never drop my text on the pages here. I always drop it on the side, because if you've got a lot of information and you need to change them and adjust them, and they're on top of each other, you might click on the wrong block and it just creates a nightmare. So it's so much better to just have it on the side, on the sideline, and just make use of it and change it the way you want it on the side, and increase it to whatever you like until it's right, and then add it where you want it on your page. That is just a tip of what I would do. Now, there's two ways of adding things to your magazines. You can add information via images that you import, or you can create inside of the magazine directly. That is absolutely up to you, but I'm going to show you right now. So if I right click, you can see it says delete, duplicate, and then the layering. So in case you had to put it on top of something and you want it behind it, you can use the layering. This is not going to work because this images is the background at the back. So if I double click on it, you would be able to change font, size, color, background, bold, italize, underline, and you have to be able to add a link to it. So if you want to add a link, you would just click there and add your link, or you can even go to another page inside of the magazine, which we will discuss just now. So I'm just going to right click and delete that. Then we've got add shape. I use these shapes all the time in my magazines, constantly. I use these shapes. And the reason for it is because of the following. So I am going just to add the shape, and I'm just going to go to another page. So let's say I would like to link this page or this image, or let's say this image. I want to link this image somewhere. All right. What would I do? I mean, I've gone up past and I've dropped it on the wrong page. Let me just go back. Where am I before? Sorry, guys. Let's just take that box away and go to the right place. So let's go see what I want to link. So let's say I want to link this specific item here. Now, currently, you can double click on the link, on the image, go to action, and you can add your link right there for it to be sent. But what if this was a background that you've imported? So let's see if I can do it in the front one, because I don't know what this magazine was. Okay, see, this is also an image. This is an image. It was not, and I'm going to show you the difference between it. Because I can do this, that is why this is seen as an image and not a background. If it was a background, it would be different. So I'm going to remove this now quickly, so that I can show you an example of what I'm trying to do with that box, or why I'm saying I use the shapes all the time. So I'm going to click on background image, and I'm going to upload a page. And I'm going to show you the Builderall magazine that I'm creating at the moment. Just the front page, so you can get an idea. All right, so that's not the right one. I've changed it. So this is not it, but just to give you an idea. This is now, can you see I can't move it? Even if I click on it, this is an image. That is a background being added. So if you wanted to be able to add things to it now, you can, and it won't affect the background. But if you had this there, and you put that, and you by mistake you move, then there's a problem. Then you struggle, because then you moved your background around. So that is very important to know. So when you have got a background, and let's say I want to link this specific circle right here to somewhere or a URL, I would click on add shape. And I would go and grab this button or the circle. I would place it over that. I'm going to double click on it. And I'm going to create the action. Let's say Builderall. something like that. And then I'm going to go to the transparency and I make it 0. So now that is linked. You would not, if you don't have an image can be linked, but if your pages were imported, you would be able to create the links by adding these little buttons over it. So when you do go live and you click on it, it's going to send them to Builderall or whatever the link is that you've created. All right, I hope that makes sense. Just go back. All right, that's that section. I'm just going to put that out of the way. Then we've got add image, which is the same as that thing. You would be able to import the image. There's the background image. You can specify the size, the font, the color, the border, the transparency. I'm not going to go in detail with these kind of things because it's very much similar to the elements that you would find in Cheetah for all the things that you've got, and as well as an action item. All right. So that is what this one is concerned. And then add video. Video is the same. Actually, before I go on with the video, I just want to delete this page and add a new page that we can work on. I just want to give you an example. If you are going to import an image, sometimes if you've created it in another software or another platform and the sizes of that image is not perfect, it might cut it off on the side. So I don't normally make use of the background image. I would rather make use of the image on this side, because with this image, you can stretch it to be at the exact size that you need. Where else, like I just said, with the background, you can't do that. So I just had to remind myself about letting you guys know about that one. All right, so video is the same type of thing. You can add video, double click on it, and you would be able to add the URL and say if it needs to loop or not. Very self-explanatory. I'm sure you guys can see that. And then the same with the iframe. The iframe works beautifully inside of the magazine app. Unfortunately, Super Checkout is not responsive yet. It can work. I have tried to add it, but it's not great as yet. I have requested if we could have that inside of the magazine app, because it would really be cool if a person can shop right inside of your magazine and don't even leave it. So that does work. The webinar works inside of it as well. I've tested that before as well. And then obviously you can add anything basically that you have an iframe on the net. If you've got a widget or a form from Google, a Google form, it also works beautifully. If you need people to give you information about something specific and you need to capture all the data, you can add a Google form to it, and that works really, really well. So that's one of the things as well. Let me just keep deleting the things as I go along. Then we've got pages. Now, this is the secret of all secrets, and hopefully they will change this. I have sent a request that we can get this changed. As you can see at the moment, I actually need to go to another magazine because I messed that one up. Let me just go out of this one. Delete. And I want to go add that specific one again because I see there was some things in there that I want to use. So let me just go back to it. All right. Now, if we click on pages, can you guys see that the cover page is marked as number 1, but here it's marked as cover. If I go to the next page, this says it's page 1. And that is a mistake, I believe, that needs to be fixed, especially when we are coming to link certain things to certain pages. Because here, you are under the impression that the cover page is page 1, but according to the editor, it is not. The second page is page 1. And I'm going to try and explain it to you now. So let's go to the content page. So they say on page 4, you're going to find makeup. So let's pretend that's now the makeup. Just remember now, page 4. They say this is page 4. Let's make another way. I am going to take that away and I'm just going to make a shape. And we're just going to, so for example purposes, so I can explain to you what's happening here. And let's say we want that to jump to this page. And I'm just going to put a picture over this lovely girl's face. So sorry, girl, no offense, but that is where we want to jump to. Okay, so we want to jump to page 6. So that page, the app says it's page 6. So now we are a person coming to Builderall, we create our magazine, and we're going to make this now jump to page 6. So you double click on it, action, and you're going to look for page 6. All right. That makes sense. We are going to go to page 6. So let's go preview. Jump to page 6. There's page 7. Okay, but now it's actually a bad example because these pages are next to each other. It should be the next page. Let's just do the next page. I didn't take that into consideration. So let's take that away. Make it to the next page. Shape. Okay, so there we go. And we go back. That's page 7. Unless they have changed this, and I didn't even know that, but I doubt it. Action, page 7. Let's see what happens. Doom, doom, doom. See you guys what I mean? It says one thing. It's not going to the right page. So you always have to, when you create your magazines, until this has been fixed, make sure that if you want to jump, if you're going to have a table of contents that's going to jump around, always make sure it goes to the next page. So if the article that you want to jump to, like in this case, is page 7, make sure you show page 8, because you're going to have to manipulate it and change it and test it to make sure that it goes to the right area. Then for layers is exactly what it is. I do not play with the layers around here because I like to right click and move things up and down. This is just too long way for me to go up and down to create the layers. And then obviously we've got close, we've got add a page, duplicate page, previous page, next, background color, just like you would add an image to the page, and dustbin. Now, one point you need to understand when it comes to add page, the page will be added to the back of the magazine and not to that specific page. So if I go to the layers right here, unless they've changed that as well, not layers, pages. Let's go. You'll see the page has been added as page 17 at the back. Okay, not in the middle of the magazine where I wanted it. And when you move these things around, remember the one that you move to is going to swap. So if I want to put it there, it's going to swap it and add that there, which means that you need to go put it back in the right order. So make sure that you play around and putting the things in the order that it's supposed to be. Now, one last point before I talk to you again, and now I'm going to delete this because I messed it up again, and I want to use that again because I just saw now there's something else I can show you there. Remember, on mobile, we do not, our magazine is not flipping on mobile. If I'm talking about flipping, it's not doing this. All right, it doesn't have this feature on mobile. So when you design your magazine, there's one very important part that you need to understand. In mobile, it's going to look like a PDF, one after each other, one page at the top and another one underneath it. All right. You need to make sure that you design your pages that it makes sense. So let's look at this page now, for example. This will make sense because if it's been cut right here in the middle, this block will show up and this image with this block will be underneath. So that will still make sense. It will still look like it's part of the design. But if you go to a page such as this, that's not going to work, because cut this page in the middle, this whole image on this side is going to be underneath. What is this image sticking on this side then? So it's not going to make sense when you are in mobile, because it's going to give you an image of an earring and not of the whole picture. If you guys are, I hope I'm trying to explain it right. This one can do because it's an image of a salon, one side, a salon on the other side. That can make sense. And I'm going to give you another example. If I go back to my magazines, let's just check quickly. And that's why when you do your design work, make sure that you keep that in mind. And I'm just going to go to a page, and you can see what I'm saying. You can see the page makes sense if it's next to each other. It flows, but if I put the page underneath, it will still make sense. So let me go to one like this. Here it says butter and it says flour cakes. Butter on its own makes sense because it's butter, flowers, and flour cakes make sense. So if you put it underneath, it's going to make sense complete. The same with this one. Let's meet Rita Joubert. You can say let's meet and they will see this person's face, Rita Joubert, and they will see Rita Joubert from Down Studio. So you have to think a little bit further when you do the designs of your magazines as to what the pages will look like when they are underneath, because that is what happens if you are creating your magazines and they're going to show up in PDF format. Now you might wonder, if you want to do it like this, how do you do this? Now in the old app, we used to have a ruler, and the ruler was really awesome. You would be able to measure exactly how to move the image so that it crosses over onto the other page. All right. Now we don't have it. You have to rely on axis here at the bottom, X and Y axis. So it is a little bit complicated because you need to do some maths as to deduct the one from the other to get to the next page to have the same kind of thing, where the ruler was really awesome tool. Now I have requested them to bring the ruler back and I'm sure they will. So let's just hope that's going to happen. And then obviously when you're done, you're going to hit publish. But let's just go to preview because I want to show you, you need to change your background. And this is where you do that. You would be able to play around here until you find the right thing. And that is all you need to do. You can also add a selected image if you like to the background. And that is how you would set that up. And then you can just hit publish. Now, once you publish, if you want to do a direct link here at the top, you would just copy that link and attach that to the button if you're not going to embed your magazine. Any questions? Let me go check here. Is there a ruler Chrome extension that can be used? Chip, you know what? I saw somebody else the other day, I don't know who it was online, that says they are using the a Chrome extension, but I haven't used that yet. So I don't know. And the reason why I didn't explore it is because I know Builderall is bringing back our extension. Is it appropriate to ask if the magazine registration works on mobile? Yes, you can register on mobile. Obviously, you can do that. And it looks great. The magazine looks great on mobile because it goes into PDF format. And that's another argument we can have for hours, because a lot of people say that they want the flipping action to also be on mobile. I don't think it's going to work, not for my magazines, to be quite honest, because I've got a lot of information and some people's mobiles are not that big. The screen is not that big. So I don't know how they're going to flip a magazine on a mobile. I personally would rather have it in PDF format. So yeah, that's that one.
So Jackie, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So apart from creating the magazine and then putting it into mobile, apart from the pictures that we have to make sure they're okay one after the other, do we have to make any changes with the font or anything else when it goes to mobile, or does it automatically do that?
No, it does that automatically.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. As for, can video be taken from BA or only YouTube? You can add any video. It doesn't matter, as long as there is an embedded code. An embedded code or a URL that you can send people to. So yes, you can do YouTube as well. Any of those. That's fine, Michelle. Did you create the background in Canva? I do a mixture. Some of my things is in Canva and some of them is directly in the app. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going to embed video and descriptions, I do it inside of the app. But some of the pages, my cover page is definitely done in Canva. Is there a certain image resolution that we should use? It's a good question. Sure, you know what, I know that I think Cindy works according to a specific, Cindy, I don't know if you work according to a specific size for the magazine. I don't, because I just bring it in, I create it in A4 format and then I bring it in and I stretch it according to the page. That's basically what I do.
Same thing now.
You do the same thing. So
yeah, when I first started, I was trying to be all technical and asking all you those questions about that, and then I realized just do it, and so now I just do it. Just like you do.
It doesn't really matter, but the size of the magazine does matter, guys. Like I said, my very first magazine was a hit and run because I had people complaining they couldn't download the magazine or the magazine didn't open fast enough because of the size. Now, if I download only the cover page in PNG from Canva, it's like 3 megabytes, just the cover page. Now, 3 times 72 is huge. So it was so big that at that stage, I didn't really want it to take away the resolution of the images as much. So I offered them a PDF version, which was the biggest mistake of my life. I quickly removed that because I realized I'm taking away the value of a digital magazine. So what I'm doing now is if I do import, I make sure that I put it through tinypng.com and make it as small as possible as I can without losing too much resolution. So that's basically what I do when it comes to the size of it. You played with the magazine app, but there is definitely a learning curve. Yes, there is a learning curve. I think there's a learning curve with everything inside of Builderall or anything technical for that matter. But once you start doing it, and the more you do it, the easier it's going to become. Is there any other questions, Carlo? Oh, let me see. What pixel size do you typically use? PNG is slower than JPG. I don't use PNG, to be quite honest. I download it as a PNG, but then I upload it to png.com, oh, not PNG, tinypng or tinyjpg.com, and I convert it. You can also, with Canva, download it in a JPG and not a PNG format. And that will make it slightly smaller. So you have to play around with it. Best app to reduce the size of the videos. I'm using a paid subscription from aPowersoft. They've got an editor, they've got a PDF translator, there's quite a lot, but it's a paid version. So I don't know of any free ones. I don't know if my wingman is around. Jean, do you know of any video, a video app that can reduce the size of videos?
You could use a free one that I use for editing. Also, you could use. It is called DaVinci Resolve. There, you're able to control like the size and what kind of format you want of your video. So you can use that, and you can also edit your videos, because that's what I use to edit my videos.
Cool. Can you drop that detail just in the chat there?
Yep.
All right.
Right now.
But there's lots of paid versions out there, actually a hell of a lot. Free ones, I'm not sure about it, because I normally try to put everything on Builderall's hosting app, especially the ones that goes into my magazines or any of those kind of stuff, just to make sure that it loads fast.
Jackie, you can upload a video to YouTube and then download it from YouTube as a compressed version, and it's free.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. Cool. And Builderall Ninja says there's Handbrake as well. I've heard about Handbrake, but I haven't used it myself as yet. As well as Formora. Okay. Now they sound, like I'm saying, it sounds like there's quite a lot that can be used for making videos smaller. Yeah, videos are very important parts. I love using videos.
He said it's actually pretty simple and easy if nobody wants to download software. Uploading it to your YouTube, make sure you put it on private so nobody sees it if you don't want to share it. But just do know it only gives you a 720p, so it's not gonna be like its best quality, but at least it'll be a less bigger file.
Okay, cool. Right, is there any other questions? Builderall Ninja Shelly tonight. How awesome is that? Oh, cool. Glad that you're here, Shelly, but you're not showing her face. Can you believe it? She's naughty, hey? She dropped into our conversations, and then afterwards we realized she's been part of it all along.
Yeah, she's like cloaked.
Awesome.
Jackie, something I get when I talk about the magazine that people might be interested in is the difference in your opinion on using the YouTube to put the video in a magazine versus the pros and cons to using the Builderall video hosting. What your opinion of that is?
Okay, well, I love the Builderall video hosting tool, and I am prepared to pay for the extra if I go over my 10 gigs, to be quite honest, because I just believe it all works together so nicely. So I would prefer that because it looks better as well. the embedded format just looks better than what it is from YouTube with all those controls and things that you don't have any control over. So my preference is to stick with the Builderall video hosting tool. Now, like I said, I haven't done that yet. In my old magazines, I still got the YouTube links in it, and I need to go change them. So that would be a note I need to make for this weekend. I must remember to do that. But yes, for sure, I would prefer to use the Builderall video hosting, and it's not expensive. If you run out of space, there's no other platform that's going to offer you what Builderall is offering you. I don't know exactly the cost at this stage, because believe me, I haven't run out of space yet, and I've got 3 e-courses running, and all of my videos is in the Builderall app, and I've got some websites that's sitting there as well. So it takes some time to fill up all the space, especially if you compress your videos and you do all the necessary that you need to.
Doesn't the Builderall video host also do some compression or technical something to the, maybe G, I don't know if you know it or Jean knows it or Shelley knows it?
I have no idea. I can't tell you. I know it compresses images.
Yeah.
It really says no compression on video.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the images then.
Yeah, it's just the images. But even though that the images are compressed, I still compress it before I upload it, because I want to make sure my pages are optimized to the best that they can, because you don't want to have a slow site. We all know that. But we get lazy, you know. Sometimes we do get lazy. We just want to get up and running and get this thing over and done with. But back at the ranch, we're doing more damage than anything else. Roberto says, I pay $9. That's nothing. Seriously. For additional gigs. That's really nothing. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the session tonight. It is not as long as my normal sessions. Normally it's gone until 5 o'clock, but that is basically the whole thing, Katut, all together. There is a lot more to this. I have got a course on Marketplace, if you would like to go take a look at it, and I'm promoting myself, but there is a course, and if you would like to sell it as an affiliate, you would be able to do that too. En dankie, Jason Perry, nog 'n wonderlike demonstrasie, baie dankie. Now you all know what it sounds like in my language. That is what we speak. Dit is Afrikaans. Ons praat Afrikaans in Suid-Afrika, en dit is hoe ek klink as ek Afrikaans praat. So that's my mother tongue. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate. I love Afrikaans. Yes, Shelley. All right, you've done a great job, Jackie. Thank you so much. That is a pleasure. I love you guys, and I really hope that you guys are going to build amazing. And you know what? I've got a magazine and strategies page that you guys can join. I'm planning to put a lot of things in that area one day. I'm not going to promise that it's going to be tomorrow, but I'm planning to put some information into my magazines and strategies sometime. And there's people from all over joining, and it's a nice place to sell Builderall, to be quite honest. All right, that is it from me. Thank you so much, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day or your evening. You're obviously going to go to bed now. I'm awake, so I'm also going to go take a nap before the real day starts in 2 hours.
Look, hey, they designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need is Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Look, if you're trying to build the name of your brand, came with a plan, get your name in demand. With Builderall, you can save your day in advance. Keep the apps automated so you barely need to glance. Listen, think of all the power that you hold. It's a new globe, everyone is grabbing for their phones. Imagine the control, build your passion on your own. And the more that you connect, the more attraction they will show. Not only a sales funnel, look, this is more advanced. This will help you compete, but have the upper hand. Keep your products in demand. It's It's all in one spot. You don't have to calculate and feel afraid with your thoughts. Automate your response. Drag and drop your site or click map your fans. See the pages they like or use the video rap or capture they sites. Design your own app from scratch, just how you like. Yeah, they designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need's Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Design with y'all in mind, let entrepreneurs shine. Tired of the 9 to 5, you starting your own grind and it's alright. They got the tools you need. The connection they designed is truly unique. Never been able to express my views with ease. I move, release, double click and ooh, I'm pleased. My clients as well, tired of the hoops and leaps. Too many things in the way of my truth and dreams. A Builderall rock star is what you really are. Tune in on the internet will make you a star. You don't need to study hard, all it takes is a start. Work every day and move higher till you way off chart. Stay on, never sleep on none of the apps. It's a free sign up just so you know in advance. Builderall's for the legends, nothing's holding you back. You got the tools and the plan, you can stay on track. Believe that. They designed a platform for you all. What you want, what you need's Builderall. Build it up, we just answering your call. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall. Yeah, you're a Builderall rock star. Hey, you can build it all, go hard. Sign up and you'll see we got it all. We're the one-stop shop if your back's against the wall.